Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. My name is Steve Murray with Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and today we're going to talk about Retirement Boss Radio. We're going to have aboard with us Dave Pimper. Dave is the president of Lazarus Coaching and the developer of Retirement Boss Radio. I wanted to give you all just a little preview of Dave's experience, and then we'll get rolling here. So Dave has been in the business since 1981. He's been involved in radio, one form or another, for about 30 of those 40 plus years in the business, whether it's a live show, he had a live show at one time, a recorded aftermarket kind of summary, commercials, or of course the current Retirement Boss Radio, which is a hour-long recorded show. So a lot of experience in radio, which is very valuable. As many of you know, radio is a kind of a tried and true method of building your brand, and that's for a lot of producers, that's what they use it for. Our Retirement Boss Radio is actually designed and developed to gain appointments, and it gains appointments at the average of about 2 to 5 appointments per week. And so you're looking at in a given month developing potential new prospects at the rate of somewhere around 10 to 12 to 13, 15, 17 per month. So if you're looking to build a brand and then more importantly, gain appointments, Retirement Boss Radio could be a great fit for you. And Dave Pimper, with his level of experience in radio, is certainly one of the best options out there for coaching. I wanted to talk about some of the things that we do here at IAMS to help you grow your business along the way. And you'll see at the 750 level on the screen before you, one of the things that we offer is to help pay for your Retirement Boss Radio subscription. That's something that is of interest to you and you're getting started with us in the first 180 days, you can sign on and take advantage of that. But you can also see there's levels at 100,000, 250,000, 500, 750, and the $1 million level. Lots of ways to claim and lots of things to claim via your new production with IAMS. One thing that I'll add here is if there's something else you want to do, we can do some kind of high level contribution to help you get something rolling or keep something rolling that you're already doing. You can also elect that for new producer bonus on more of a custom basis. That's just a conversation with your sales director. Also, a couple programs I just sent out, the referred producer monies that we send out. We send those out generally quarterly. Some of you aboard with us today know you get your checks monthly. That's because the checks are a little bit larger. Anytime we get a check that's going to be over 1,000 on a quarterly basis, and we start looking at sending those out monthly to get that money in your hands. We think that's a great way to help you grow your business and want to do that on a regular basis and get money in your hands to help you grow that business. So RPM is a great way to reward you for your referrals. So if you refer someone to us, they get appointed, we'll send you a check for 50 for that. But the real money comes, and the big checks that you see, many of you see come out on a regular basis, is that bonus that we pay you based on the business of your referrer. It's important to note that that money does for your referral does not come out of their pocket. Everything that's available to them is available to you is available to them, including if they refer a producer. So that money comes out of our advertising budget. So if you have somebody that you think might benefit from our services, somebody that might benefit from incentives, products that we have available, training that we do, let us know, and we will get them called and on board with IAMS, and then you will not be surprised to see checks start floating your way on a quarterly or sometimes monthly basis. Marketing reimbursement is a simple program. When you do business, we put money in your marketing account, and when you have marketing that you've done, send us the receipts, and we'll match your spend dollar per dollar. So it basically doubles the power of your marketing dollars, and we'd love to do that. Again, one of the bigger programs that we have, some of the more regular checks that go out here from IAMS for marketing reimbursement. Most of you now do apps via Firelight. If you don't, probably ought to help you get that corner turned here in the next couple of years. By all accounts, most of our carriers are looking to go to an EAP-only submission platform in the not too distant future. A couple of years, 3 years, 1.5 years. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I think that carriers are pretty well set on that. We have a platform here at IAMS where you can basically just go to our website and access all of the carriers' EAPs from one website. It makes it a lot easier for you. Makes it easier for you to track your business, makes it easier for you to cut and paste if you're getting ready to maybe submit a couple apps with a couple different carriers on the same client. You can do that easily within our instance of Firelight. by just doing a cut and paste, so you don't have to re-input that information. Most people don't know too that if you're concerned about, hey, does my client have Wi-Fi where they're at, or I'm not planning to do this over the phone, but rather in person, you can actually fill out over the phone with your client an e-app, print it out, take it to them for a hard signature, and then upload it back into Firelight and submit it as an e-app and get that quick turnaround e-app processing. Literally, it's 3, 4, 5 days quicker to get an e-app processed at a carrier than it is to get a paper app right now. I think that's one of the main reasons that they are looking at going to strictly e-app processing. So keep that in mind. Call your sales director. You can get registered on our website. It literally takes 2 minutes to get registered. It's a matter of just putting your name and email in, then we have to go out and check and make sure who you're appointed with, and we get you set up on the e-app platform. We've got a great advertising team. If you're not already taking advantage of them, I hope and wish that you would. They're a great team. Everyone that I talk to that uses them is pleasantly surprised by the quality of the content and information and look of what they get back. We try and do as much of that as we can pro bono. A lot of folks use marketing reimbursement when they do have to spend hard dollars for purchase stuff that we do on your behalf. But we're going to take care of as much as we can, just using our services to help you grow your business. We know when you're successful, we're successful. We've got a great team. Ask your sales director about what they can do to help you grow your business. I think you'll be pleased. Many of our producers now use Retirement Analyzer. We've been doing it now for 18 years. They have really emerged as the #1 software tool that many producers use in the field to help their clients find out where they are on their journey towards retirement. Let you know where they're long, where they're short, with red and green. There's some yellow in there as well for where they probably need to be cautious. It helps them true up their risk tolerance with their investments. So a lot of things you can do on there to help them, help Social Security, helps them, see whether Roth conversion might make sense. Is a very, very, very robust system that can also be very, very easy, and that's what we like about it. If you are interested in the Retirement Analyzer, we make that available to our producers. We actually pay the monthly fee because we know it will help you do more business. If you are not doing business with us yet, but you're interested in having a look, give your sales director a call. We can get you out a trial and let you see how it looks. Do one on yourself. Do one on one of your A clients. See how it looks. I think you'll be pleased and impressed with what you can do. We'd love to have many of you join us at the Seaside Sanctuary at Kiawah Island. If you've never been to that area of the world, I think you're going to love the beaches there, especially that time of year. The mid-April, the late April timeframe is going to be beautiful down there. Will be, of course, you can see from the pictures, we're right on the beach. It's a beautiful property, plenty of pools, plenty of things to do there. It's very close to historic Charleston, right on the beach, and they do have PGA courses on site as well. A lot of good reasons to qualify. We do an 18-month qualification, and that qualification extends all the way through the end of this year. Even if you're just getting rolling with us, there's still plenty of time to qualify. All of your business qualifies and grants you some points. That's an IAMS only trip. We'd love to have you join us. Qualification is 4.5 million points, which that's a dollar for dollar for your annuity business. You get about 10 points for every dollar of life target. You get about 1.5 points for every dollar of single premium life. And everything that you do with IAMS counts towards your qualification. So bring your guest out and show them a nice, really relaxing time in the beautiful beaches of South Carolina here next April. Life and Annuity Academies, we've got 6. Now we have 5 left. Actually, we have now 4 that we have the next one coming up in June, and that one has got probably 1 or 2 slots left. If you have an interest in joining us for an academy, take a moment, if you will. I'm going to close this poll down rather quickly, so let me know if you have interest in coming into an academy. And if you do, we'll send you out a registration form, and then we will send you out, we'll let you know of the upcoming academies. We have 4 left for this year. We'll do another one here in Omaha. The one in June has got like 1 or 2 slots left. If you're interested in coming to Omaha in June, it's June 7th through the 9th. There might be a slot open there. And then we've got one in August, one in October, and then one after that as well. So if you want to increase your marketing, increase your sales skills, get a little bit more product knowledge, hear what's going on in the industry that you need to be well aware of, which there are definitely some things there to keep it from a regulatory standpoint you need to keep your eye on. then the academy is for you. We'll have 4 top producers. We're going to take care of your expenses. You can see before you, well, you can't anymore because I have the polls up, but we'll have 4 top producers there. We'll look at some indexed annuities and annuity threats and trends. We'll take you a look at a couple of turnkey seminar packages. We'll look at some business insurance concepts and give you a real quick review of what's going on from a carrier standpoint. We'll introduce a brand new product that will be launched probably late June, mid to late June, maybe early July. That will be revealed there at that academy in June. And then we'll, of course, go over it again in the academy in August. So love to have you join us in any one of those. If you would like to be included in a registration, go ahead and hit yes on that. If you're unable to vote, that's okay. I'll have Lisa Marie or someone from the team will give you a call. If there's no vote, we'll give you a call and see if you would like the registration form. If you have already been in, or if you're happy with your business right now and don't want to be included in any invitations to any upcoming academies, please put no on that poll so that we can save our time and your time on that phone call. Much appreciated. I'll give you just a moment to give you a yes or no. And do not, people are always like, well, I don't want to put no on your polls. Yes, you can put a no. Believe me, we have no shortage of people that want to come into our academies. So if you don't put an answer at all, then we'll have to call you and make sure, because I know everybody is unable, not everybody is able to vote. But if you know for sure you don't want to come, please, by all means, put a no. Or if you don't want us to call you, put a no on that poll. Perfect. Only one of you didn't vote. Okay, I'm going to close that out. Let's get moving here. Oops, skipped right over. So I gave you a little introduction of Dave early on, but I think it's valuable to talk a little bit about radio and what it can do for your business. And this I've seen personally up close and personal. Many of you may know Dave lives near us. He lives about 40 miles from the home office. And so Dave and I were golfing one Sunday morning, and this is probably about 2 years into Retirement Boss Radio, and I think Dave's about 3.5 years in. And I can't tell you at his country club how many people came up and they recognized Dave and they talk about the fact that he's on the radio. So I know from a notoriety standpoint, building your brand so that people, I think it makes you more referable, and building your brand, I think you'll find Retirement Boss Radio, or any radio program for that matter, probably helps you with that. Or definitely helps you with that. But what Dave and his program are trying to do is trying to actually gain appointments. That is really the sole purpose, is to give you hard appointments on the radio. So he's going to talk a little bit about the success that he's had there, talk a little bit about radio in general, and I think you're going to come away with an idea that, hey, there's some real opportunity here. And if we look in your area and you need a little help to make that work, then we can make that happen for you as well with a little financial assistance. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the boss, Retirement Boss Radio program master, Mr. Dave Pimper.
Master, that's pretty high language, Steve.
you have an MBA in radio.
Yeah, radio advertising, radio marketing, being on the radio with the co-host. Yeah, it's been very profitable. It's been very rewarding for me in my business. Most advisors, and that doesn't make a difference if you're with Merrill Lynch or you're with Northwestern Mutual or you're independent like we are, most advisors don't even think about radio unless it's a 30-second or 1-minute ad. And I tried those to no avail. I could never get that working. But being on for an hour at the same time slot, week after week after week, with a co-host, talking about all of I mean, today we talked about Social Security, we talked about expenses, we talked about Medicare, we talked about, the 5 or 6 things that are most concerned about: running out of money, not having enough income, all those different things. That's what we talk about week in and week out. And we've got a track, and I'm a process type of salesperson. I work from a track. So what happens to me is I have to feed myself with enough qualified prospects, and then I work a sales track. Now, again, in our business, we want to be the best we can for our clients. So we want to, we certainly want to go in and show a financial strategy that has their best interest at heart, not ours. We'll get compensated if we do the right thing, I'll assure you. But you want to make sure that it fits their needs, it fits their wants, it fits their desires and goals. So once that's done, that's the easy part of the business is really showing them, going through that sales process, giving them an idea of what to expect in good times and bad times. But a tough thing for most advisors, insurance agents, stockbrokers, any kind of financial salesperson is having enough appointments. And this has really alleviated a lot of that problems for me. So if you've got a question, I want you to type it on in and we will certainly answer it. So here we go. This is only going to take about 10 minutes. So this is a pretty short webinar. Any questions? Type them in. I want to answer them for you. So ask yourself, why radio? Well, fairly unbelievably, radio reaches more Americans each week than any other platform, including any social media platform, TV, smartphone, personal computer. It's wild, but it's true. The median age is 61. We work with the pre-retired and just retired. The name of this show and its trademark is Retirement Boss Radio Takes Charge of Your Money. I'm not taking charge. I want the client to take charge of their money by hiring someone like me or someone like you that really understands the different kind of strategies that they can be using. I work at the pre-retired because they've worked their whole life, and I'm looking at that 401k or that government thrift savings plan or 403b. Reaches an upscale listener. 93% of all adults in that household is $75,000 household income. They listen to 12 hours of radio average a week. If it's a younger household, it might be much more podcasts. I listened to my very first podcast riding my bike a couple weeks ago. How often I listen to radio? Every day. Old folks listen to the radio. Young folks listen to podcasts. It does solidify you as an expert much more than seminars. I love seminars, but radio has a different dynamic to it. Has a different just a different kind of person who listens to radio. It's hot. News radio is hot. Even with Rush Limbaugh going and passing, it's hot. Rush Limbaugh's gone, but Glenn Beck, Kim Komando, Dave Ramsey, those are all big names. You might get Rick Edelman. I mean, there's just a lot of national. They're on there for reasons, because people are paying big advertising. So, and I'll just walk you through. I'm not going to go through each one of the next 3 or 4 slides, but let's say that you're interested. And I'm going to make this up, and let's say, because I don't have anybody in, what's local? Des Moines. I don't have anybody in Des Moines right now. So you want Des Moines, Iowa. Okay, Des Moines, Iowa is going to be about 600,000, 700,000. Perfect. Now, someone might say, so what we'll do is, I have a radio media buyer. He buys radio time, radio airtime. He's great. Been this is 25 years. I mean, they have over 800 shows a week that he's purchased radio time for, and he negotiates and he gets pre-ads and might be they'll pay you if it's a holiday. I mean, all different kind of things he negotiates out. But he goes and he looks at the 1 or 2 top AM radio stations, talk radio stations, and we'd like to get a prime time, which is anywhere from 7 on Saturday to about 4 on Saturday, and then from 7 or 8 on Sunday to about 2 on Sunday. Those are prime time. I'm on at 12 o'clock on Sunday noon. That's my radio time. It's very good to me. I've had options to change it, and I never had because it's been very, very good. So he negotiates. Now, if about half the time we can get a good radio time. What's a good radio time? It's like real estate, location. For this, it would be you have to find the right station at the right time slot at the right pricing. If any of those is off a bunch, then it just doesn't work. If any of it's off a bunch, it just doesn't work. Right station, right time slot, right pricing. Okay? Now, let's say we get that. And you say, yeah, I like that. So, for example, let's say that cost, I'm just making this up, but let's say that cost $600 a week. So let's say you're in a 4-week month. That's going to cost you $2,400 of radio. That's the most expensive part of this type of marketing. Now you need a production company. This one that we use is great. I mean, they supply the co-host. I have the same co-host for everyone who does it. They go in and they record the show. It's done electronically through your computer. The only thing you've got to buy ahead of time is a professional microphone, a professional headphones, professional sound box, little foam sound box, and then there's a little muffler or a little sound retarder that's on your actual microphone. It costs you about $250. That's really the only upfront money you have. And then they supply the broadcasting company supplies the link, and it's a recorded show. And we record for half an hour. We don't record for an hour. It's an hour show, but we repeat the second half of a show four weeks ago. Okay, so what happens here? It's a system. I mean, it sounds complicated, but in reality, if you go to www.retirementbossradio.com, www.retirementbossradio.com, you can see my recordings and or hear them, and they're professional, and you'll sound very similar to that. It's very good. But they edit it, they mix it, they take out the bloopers, it's recorded. You can record the whole thing over if you want to. But that's strictly up to you. And then they put it in the can and get it to the radio station. It's an hour show. And then we have when they call in, we open up the call lines. We open up to an 888 number, 800 number, 877. I mean, it's a toll-free number. It's in 2677, which is BOSS, Retirement Boss Radio. They're all end in that. Yeah. They call in, goes right to the inbound high touch call center. They have an electronic calendar with us, and they get on our calendar. It just works slick, very, very slick. And they know all the times they can't book. I want a half an hour between my appointments, and they just book them on in. My goal is to get 10 appointments a month. If I get 10 appointments a month, I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy. That's our goal. Lots of times we'll get more than that. A few times we get less per month, but that's our goal. So that's really kind of how Retirement Boss Radio. I mean, it's like baking a cake. Individually, it seems kind of complicated, but when you go through it, it really is not. Here's like every time a call comes in, and that's to a live call center operator. They're high end. I mean, they do a very good job. But here it's like turning 59 soon, hasn't settled on someone yet, meaning an advisor, has a 401k that is 7-figured. It was just under $1 million. Also had questions about Social Security. We coach you up on Social Security at no cost to you. Pretty cool system. Remember, retirementbossradio.com. You can hear the actual shows, which is pretty impressive. Cost, yeah. Well, you know what? On that $600 show, that's $2,400. You got another $1,150 that is for productions costs. So you have $2,400 plus $1,150, and then the call center is about $200. That's $3,750. Yeah, at $3,750. That for Retirement Boss Radio for a month or for 4 weeks. I mean, it's pretty reasonable, even less than a dinner seminar. I coach you up on Social Security. I help you through the entire session. It's a studio, it's a studio in a box. You could go in and record where you want to, your home, your car, if it has Wi-Fi, your office. The end result, we want to get you appointments, period. That's the name of the game. Al Jolson, an old actor, says, I'd like to do radio like pictures, leave the imperfect stuff on the cutting room floor. Hopefully that would be the case when you're doing Retirement Boss Radio. There's no saying, it says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Well, tomorrow never comes. You don't want that to happen to you. You want to take action. The folks in this that I know who take action, they're the most successful people. The ones who don't know, they let the world pass by and opportunities pass by. If you want some information on radio marketing, just mark yes. And Lisa Marie from IAMS is going to give you a call. She has my calendar, and we'll get together for 15, 20 minutes, and not one of my associates. I mean, it will be me, and we'll help you. I mean, this is what I do. I love getting in front of people and having advisors and agents with IAMS to get in front of people. I'll help you out. I'll coach you up and paid for by IAMS on the Social Security claiming. Social Security accounts are maybe a third of my business with Retirement Boss Radio. So, Steve, I'll turn this over to you and see if there's any questions, and then we'll call it a day.
Perfect, Dave. So a couple of the questions are about areas. So if you have a question about an area, the process would work like this. You let us know that you have some interest. We will call the media buyer who's got years and years of experience, probably one of the top media buyers in the country, and he will take a look in your area. And if we're not going to put you in a station that doesn't have the best opportunity for success in your area, that may not be available. So we have to check that for you and see, and then we have to look at the pricing and see if it makes sense for you. But that's kind of the process that goes through. So, but the first thing to do there would be to go ahead and hit yes on the poll, and then have a conversation with the team. And Lisa Marie will give you a call, set you up with Dave, and walk through the process a little bit more. Check your area, see what the costing is if it's available. Have I missed anything there, Dave?
No, that sounds good to me. That sounds like a good process.
Yep. And so and most of you I see are electing to have a conversation with Dave. For those of you that aren't, that's great. Radio is not for everybody. I think that people sometimes get intimidated. I've had a lot of people say, well, I just don't think I can do it. So I would encourage you. In fact, I'll take you, before we're done here, I'll take you to retirementbossradio.com and let you listen to a couple of the radio shows so you can hear what Dave sounds like. And then I think people do get intimidated, like, well, I can't do that. I can't do radio. Dave, your experience on folks, the number of people that you put into radio, how many times do you say, look, that guy really doesn't sound very good on the radio? How many times has that happened?
Just doesn't happen much. I mean, I think I've had one person that, and it was a little iffy going in. He just didn't have much confidence in himself, didn't project his voice, but have had a lot of people that when they did their first trial one and they were pretty pitiful? Absolutely. And all of a sudden they do it 4 or 5 times and they sound pretty darn good, So I help them with that, and I critique the first couple shows, tell them what they're doing good, what maybe they need help with. But the truth is, they all come out sounding pretty good. When you could edit and mix and take out bloopers, that's a big hurdle to get over, and most people are they're scared a little bit when they come in, but once they do it, you can get the hang of it. A lot of success follows that.
You bet. And the production company does a great job with all that, and the fact that you're doing your recording kind of in a private situation, and you can re-record anything that you want. I mean, it's just it really makes for a very user-friendly experience. So if you want to hear
right, Steve, I'll say this, and I've had 2 other radio stations. In the old days, there wasn't the technology of today with software. You can, record from your home or your office or motel room or car, as long as it's got Wi-Fi. We had to used to go into the studio, put the headphones on, and you know what? That can be intimidating. That can be it says, on the air, the little thing lights up and says you're now live on the air. It's like, oh no, I'm live. Yeah. No, it's like here, if you can start out and say, Hey, this is Dave Pimper with we'll just do that over again. Let's start over again. This is Dave Pimper with Retirement Boss Radio. I mean, you know what? When you can go in and they can dub you out, they can go in and they can cut things out, they can start over from scratch. You can do the whole thing and say, I don't like it. Let's find another time we'll record it over again. When you have that, when you have do-overs, you know what that's like, Steve? That's like in golf. Just think if you had a mulligan on every shot. I bet you're going to shoot better, aren't you?
Well, I don't know if it would help me, but
No, it would. No, I've seen your game. It would help you a lot. Yeah, but it just takes away the pressure, doesn't it, if you have a mulligan? And that's what this is. You really have a mulligan because it's a recorded show.
Yep. So you talked a little bit about show notes and how that works. So those show notes, I mean, do you read them?
No. The only thing that I do read the intro. And I do read, when I say read, I ad lib read the offer. We have an offer, and we give that offer in an hour. We give that offer for 4 times. In a half an hour, we give the offer strong for the next 7 callers, next 5 callers. If you call with the next 15 minutes, if you call by the end of the show, there's some kind of timeline limit or limiting. That's why the offers are successful. And I will say this, is that those are proven. I mean, there's a reason. You can do your own thing at your own discretion, but it's not proven. You'd like to use a track. I'm not trying to reinvent anything. Okay? So I've taken this for something that's proven. I put my shine on it, change a few words here and there, maybe shorten it. But what happens is that it's a proven track, and lots of people listen to AM radio. A ton. It's incredible of how many people listen to AM radio. And that's what they're listening to on the weekend also, that same age demographics. I would say it's probably from 50 to 70. That's kind of the age group that listens. And my average age I work with is 62, 3, 4, 5. That's the average age day in and day out. And that's the folks that have that money, especially in the retirement plans.
You bet. I talked a little bit about seminars and radio when we started, kind of introducing you to the fact that you've done, plus 500 seminars now. So, question is seminars or radio? And I think basically what they're asking is, what do you do more of, or what do you get more benefit from, or which do you prefer?
Well, I'm not trying to be trite, but it's like saying, Steve, so oranges or apples?
Oh, I prefer oranges.
Okay, well then you prefer, but you do eat apples too, don't you?
I sure do. Yeah.
You do eat them both. That's right. Here's what happens: the difference between the two. And I've done radio for a long, long time. I would say seminars has actually brought me in more production, but I do know that my calls right now that I have face to face, radio is a higher net worth individual with more potential for money coming in. You're going to probably get more appointments from seminars. Seminars take more time because you've got to go to a location. You got to set it up. You got to take your night. With radio, I mean, I record on Tuesday morning at 7:30 in the morning, and I'm done at 10 after 8, once a week. I mean, I dictate of where I want to do it. It doesn't have to be done at a restaurant or at a library, so that makes it nice, Radio's a little more expensive. Our seminar system's $2,950, Social Security, $2,950, guarantee 35 signups. So, radio is going to average, probably $3,500 to $4,000. So it's a little more costly. I don't know if I like one better than the other. I will say this: seminars, you can do a one, and I wouldn't recommend this, but you can do a one and done. You can do a one, get. We have a guy down in Florida, Steve. Remember, he had gazillions of people. He got gazillions of appointments. In fact, I just called him and said, "Hey, isn't it about time you do?" He said, I still got second and third appointments. He had, I don't know, but it's ridiculous. I don't even want to say it because it sounds so many. But what happens is you can do a one and done. Radio, you can't do that. You got to do it week after week after week after week after week. You got to be very, very consistent at doing it. And some people just don't want to do that. So I will tell you this right now, which one I like better. I mean, I'm not. I'm going to sit on the fence on this one. It's like Solomon, with the child. I just can't. I can't cut
Protect the
this thing
baby.
in half. But I will say this: if you're looking just to get in and test, seminars is the thing. If you're looking in to be committed, say radio could be a tremendous way to market for you.
That's perfect. Well, and you talked about Social Security training, and the reason that that's so important. I mean, there's in your show notes, and I've listened to your radio show. Dave happens, as I mentioned, he's probably about 30 miles out of town, but his main radio that he does is in the big Omaha station, which of course covers his area as well. So I've listened to his radio show, and probably about a third of your offers have to do with Social Security, don't they?
Absolutely. I mean, people just don't. I mean, people just don't know Social Security. Advisors don't know Social Security. Steve, I bet before you started doing all those seminars and workshops, your background on Social Security was limited, I would guess.
Yes.
And you listen to so many now. I mean, you know a lot more just from just absorption.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's right. You may not be able to answer the real delicate questions, but you could certainly, much more than the majority of the people. But we do specific coaching, and you get coached up on Social Security. I'll tell you what, you can. It's powerful. It's powerful in our business.
Powerful knowledge and expertise, and so that makes sense to offer that a couple times during radio. And we know from just our experience with seminars on Social Security that there is a lot of pent up demand for knowledge on Social Security, and there's a lot of questions probably arising from so much in the news about Social Security. So yes, that definitely is something you'll want to sharpen up on if you want to do radio.
Yep, I agree.
Come up and
very nicely, but IAMS pays me to coach people on Retirement Boss Radio, coach them up on Social Security. So it's kind of like a double good thing. Kind of like that Oreo. The chocolate's pretty good, but the cream's great. I mean, you know what? Or, I don't know what was it there? There used to be something that you ate that was candy. At the very, very end, there was a piece of chocolate. I can't remember what that.
It's a Tootsie Pop.
What that was, but what was it called? What was it called?
It's a Tootsie Pop.
A Tootsie Pop. Yeah, you ate it, and then it's like, dang, this is like Christmas. They got a prize here. Yeah. But that's the way it is here. I mean, all of a sudden, it just really works well together. Yep.
You betcha. Well, there's a couple questions about your radio show, so I think if you don't mind, I'm going to close this poll out. I'm going to take them to, if I can find it, I'm going to take them to your website. There we go.
Stephen, what I'm going to do, I don't want anyone to hang up here. I hope that we get a lot of people that call. I believe it or not, I got a quarter to the hour, quarter to 11. I've got a little fixed indexed annuity piece of business, Steve, that we're writing up today. So I've got the paperwork. She's coming in, so I want to make sure I got every word of her to sign. So I am going to scoot off of this webinar. I appreciate everybody being patient. It's not long. I mean, those are pretty quick, but this is important what you're going to show right here. And again, I'm looking forward to speaking to everybody here just shortly. Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. Bye-bye.
Your appointment. You bet. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
So here is the website, www.retirementbossradio. You see that up at the top there. And if you go down here, because I see that we had a couple people ask how they can listen to the radio show. So if you go down to the very bottom, you will see where you can listen in, and you probably noted, or you can see here, that they're about 26 minutes each, 26:57 each. So Dave records, his shows are actually recorded in half-hour increments. So they'll be 2 13 or 14-minute increments, about 13.3-minute increments, and then those go into a half-hour show. But his show is an hour long. So what happens is then two of them are combined to create that hour-long show, and he uses a new one each week, and then they'll go back about 4 or 5 weeks and pick an old one and replay that one. So you really only, once you have probably 4 or 5 weeks of radio shows in the can, then they'll go back and pull an old one, and then you only have to record a half-hour radio show after that each week. And if you want to listen to one of those, you can go right here. I don't know what will happen. I'll hit play. And so that would be like whatever they negotiate for you, your time on the radio. They also are going to negotiate 30-second radio spots. So you'll hear your commercials coming on during the course of the week, sometimes in the drive time, sometimes in the morning, whatever. Most of the radio shows, most of the actual radio shows will be on Saturday or Sunday morning, usually like like a prime spot seems to be like an 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock on a Saturday or Sunday morning. Those seem to be really popular times. I want to have you listen to, if we can get to it. So you're going to hear, there's Dave, of course. In a second here, you'll hear Steve Siddall come up. So you heard Steve. So we have the relationship with the production company, and Steve is part of that group. And so he's kind of your sidekick, and he comes in and he'll kind of lead through the conversation, kind of go on the next thing. If you listen to one of those, going to hear his podcast here, you'll hear about, if you listen to a half hour, you'll hear two offers. Generally, we call them CDAs, or calls to action, where Dave will say, hey, if you want blah, 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 then be one of our fifth callers. Those calls go into, and it's not a live call in, of course, it goes right into the call network that is already set up as well. And all they're doing is setting you an appointment. And so Dave has had some big numbers. He's had 5, 6, 7 appointments per show. He never can figure out why some numbers get big. And Dave would tell you that there have been weeks, like a Sunday morning, where he might only get one call in, might get one appointment or two. So it varies a little bit depending on the week. And he's like, well, I don't, the calls to action were pretty much the same. It's just hard to tell, why appointments vary. But it's definitely true that as a radio show gets more established, it takes 3-4 weeks to get established, then you're going to start to see more appointments coming. And I think some of that's just because you get a little bit better at it, you get a little bit more comfortable, and you will get comfortable with it, just like I get comfortable with doing webinars. First one I did, it's like, oh, I know what's going on here, but once you get comfortable with it, it's kind of like falling off a log. So go to Retirement Boss Radio if you want to hear more of that. I just wanted to get a kind of a flavor. All of his radio shows, everybody that does them sounds good. I will say, and it got mentioned there a little bit, there was one guy that just never could kind of get where he had a nice flow to the way he sounded, even for the little 5, 7, 10, 12 minute increments that you need when you're actually doing a radio show. So when show notes come in, and you can pretty much go from them, you can do your own, you can do some ad libbing. Dave would counsel against that a little bit, because you need to end up back at those calls to action. But can you talk a little bit about, like, if you do the retirement analyzer and maybe someone else doesn't, can you talk about, hey, let me offer a free retirement analysis? You can do that as well. And that's something that some guys have had some luck with. So, and then the last question that I have here that has been unanswered, I'm going to go to. So you can go back and listen to any one of our webinars. And the way that you do that is you go to our website, and you see here, you can get our YouTube page right there if you want. And if you click on that, it will take you through like Dave did one on Social Security. and I had 34 people have been and listened to that since. All of our webinars are here, and you can go in and you could do a little search. Got to be careful. Oh, I can't find the search button now. You don't want to do the search up here because that will search the whole entire world of YouTube. There we go. So if you hit this little search, you can type in preset appointments. You know, we do some preset appointments webinars. So if you go to preset appointments, I think something will pop up for you. Yep. So it'll just take you to all of our webinars on preset appointments. So you can go and listen to any one of those. Some of those are similar, some of those are very different, but you know, listen to the last one that was just done. God, those are old. Here's one that was done a month ago. And you can go in and listen to that one. So that's how you go back, and we don't make the slideshows available, but you can go back and re-listen to any one of these on our YouTube channel. So I think that's the last question. Let me just go in and double check. Oh, it sounds like maybe you guys weren't able to hear necessarily the radio. So if you go, I could hear it on my end, but if you couldn't hear it, you go to those podcasts, you'll kind of hear the radio shows. You can hear what Dave sounds like, you can hear what the production company guy, the kind of sidekick sounds like, and you can also hear call to action and see how that works. So I apologize if anyone else could not hear. Good, and I think that's all that we have. So thank you all for joining us here today. I really have a lot of affinity and bias towards people that take the time to come in and take some time out of their schedule to come to our webinars. So whatever we can do to help you grow your business, call your sales director, call me if you want to. My name's Steve Murray. Let us know what we can do to help you grow your business, whether it's seminars or radio or preset appointments, or we got 1,000 different ways that you can gain prospects. Now's a great time to do it. Sales, I mean, for those of you that have been in the business like me, I've been in the business since '84, and I would say the marketplace, the opportunities in the annuity marketplace are better now than they've probably been in the last 15, 17 years. Interest rates are up, market volatility is up. That certainly has people concerned about their assets in markets. Even bank safety is a question now with what's going on in the banking arena. So people that have money sitting in banks are more, obviously, the insurance marketplace, insurance companies are highly regulated. People look at them as certainly a place when they're looking for safety to go. And so really good time to be in our business, really great time to be in front of prospects. We want to help you do that, and we'll do whatever we can. We'll find you opportunities. We'll help you with costs along the way if we can. So give us a shout here at 1-800-255-5055. Ask for myself, ask for your sales director, and let's see if we can't help you find a way to grow that business. Again, number here, 800-255-5055. Thank you for joining. I'm going to end this webinar on a high note, which is a high level of appreciation for those of you. I know many of you that are on with us today are people that regularly do business with us, and I hope we get the opportunity to thank you for that enough. If we don't, let me personally thank you for that. Thanks for being part of the IAMS family. Much appreciated. Have a great day today, and have a great finish to your week here, and let us know how we can help. 1-800-255-5055. Thank you.